Hey guys, Bill coming back at you again with another video. Today is finally the day we're getting our outside plants in the ground, so stay tuned. Alright guys, so it's 16 degrees out here in Nova Scotia. It's June 3rd and the weather looks pretty good from here on out. We've had a couple of frost warnings over the last week, but I've also left my plants outdoors on the deck and they were pretty much fine. So today is the day we're going to put them in the ground, get these girls going. Now before we put them in the ground, let's take a look at what we've decided to put in the ground this year. All right, so here we have the two specimens. I gave you guys a job last week to help me pick out which one to put in the ground. Let's just go over them quickly. Here we have a Magic Castle. We started a few of these inside a couple of months ago, ended up calling all of them except for this one, and kept this one alive. It looks pretty nice and strong and healthy, so we have that one option. The other one is a Sunday Driver, which was in a solo cup for about a year and a half until a few weeks back I finally put her in a 5-gallon pot, and she was re-vegged, and she's old, and that was one of the contenders that I thought it'd be nice to get her outdoors, let her see what she can do. So I gave you guys the option, and the vast majority of you picked the Sunday Driver because you felt bad for her, and I get it. There was also quite a few that said put both of them in the ground. That wasn't my plan this year. I don't have a lot of room here, so one of these was gonna be it. But after looking over my grow area, I decided I can squeeze both in and hopefully they both do all right. So what we've decided to do in the prime spot, we're gonna put the Magic Castle right there, and I have a raised bed that I can dedicate one half of that to the Sunday Driver. So that's what we're gonna do. Before we take them down and get them into their final homes, let's check out the third one we're gonna plant. We'll get that one in the ground right away. Okay, so this is the third one that is going in the ground, and yes, it is the albino black gorilla. I have a couple of clones that I've taken off of it while I'm trying to make seeds, which is not going so well. So I'm always going to keep a clone of it until I can figure a way to get it to reproduce. But look at the colors on this. Look at the camo effect on the leaves. So crazy. Now this one here, I'm just growing because it's really pretty. Check out the tops up here. Really cool looking. And it does produce viable bud. Not super strong THC, but beautiful taste and smell of pure grape. So what we're doing is we're just going to plant this in a little pot right over here. Okay, so basically I'm putting it right here in my little patio in this pot here. It's quite a large pot. It's probably 10, maybe 12 gallons. I'm not sure, but it's quite a large pot. And we're going to plant it here because it's pretty. And also in the fall, when the breeze blows, we should get a beautiful grape smell out here. So I'm really looking forward to that. Now, we have nutrients already in the soil. I added that last week, organic nutrients. And we're going to add a couple more things to this pot. We're going to add a little bit of, not affiliated by the way, just bought this off of Amazon, some mycorrhiza. We're going to put that in there right at the root level, and hopefully that will help to help feed the plant, get those organics broken down a little bit quicker. And then once we get it planted, something I decided to try this year is I'm going to add some white clover seeds to fill the rest of the pot. Now, white clover is very beneficial. It takes nitrogen out of the air and puts it into the soil. So it's basically going to help feed the plant, as well as it's going to give it a nice green carpet around the plant, which will help keep the soil cooler and help any water not evaporate quite so quickly. Something I wanted to try this year. I've seen other growers do it, so we got a bag and we're ready to go. So let me set you guys up on the tripod, and we'll get this one into the ground first. All right, so sorry about my shadow on the soil. That's just where the sun is in the sky right now. So what we're going to do first, we're going to add some mycorrhiza right in this hole. We have the hole already dug. And we'll give it a, what is that, a tablespoon, 1 tablespoon heaping. And just a little sprinkle more. I don't think it needs that much. There is ProMix HP in here mixed in with it, which also has mycorrhiza right there anyway. We're just giving it a little boost. Now we're going to take the plant We're going to squeeze it around the little 2-liter container, pull that out, and we got a pretty decent root ball there. I just kind of break it up just a little bit, not a lot. I know some people break it up quite a bit. I'm just gonna kind of dig around in there and break some of them roots up so they'll want to grow out maybe a little bit faster. We'll go ahead, stick it right in the hole here, pack it in. We don't want to pack it super tight, but as I always say, we don't want air pockets. Roots will not grow through air pockets. Yes, they do need oxygen at the root level, but they don't want pockets of air. So there we go. Got it down there nice and neat. And the soil is pretty moist as it is. So I want to bring it forward just a little bit. I got it too far back there. There we go. That's better. Now we're going to take our clover, and I know some people mix this with dry soil or sand to help distribute it a little bit more evenly. I'm just going to take a little bit and use my hands and just sprinkle it around the top of the soil. I'm not sure how much it needs. Like I said, it's my first time adding clover, and we'll make sure there's lots. I think that's probably a little bit more over here. So that's it for that. And what we'll do, we want to make sure that it has good contact with the soil. We don't want to bury it too deep because it does need light to germinate. So we're not really going to bury it. We're just going to tap it, make sure that it has contact with that soil. Okay. So I think that's it. Okay, so that's it. We got her in. Beautiful looking plant. I really do love this plant. So let's go ahead now, and we're going to head over and put the other two in. All right, so we're going to go with the, I've been calling it Magic Castle, but I apologize. It's Critical Magic by Next Generation. So let me correct that right now. So we have our hole dug. We're going to do the same thing. Whoops, that's clover. We don't want to put clover seed in there. I don't think that's going to hurt it because it's not going to germinate down there anyway. Let's go ahead and put some mycorrhiza. We're going to put, just a couple tablespoons in there. Now we'll grab our plant. Now, where I had only put this in here a few weeks ago, I didn't know if the roots would be out to the edges, so I just cut the pot off instead of, I don't know. That's the best way to take a cloth pot off anyway. You can't reuse it, but that's fine. Anyway, I see a little bit of roots that are that have already reached the outside, but there's still going to be a lot of loose soil in around there. So I just decided to cut it off instead of trying to yank it out or roll it off or whatever. There's lots of actual roots here on the bottom, which that's a good sign. Let's separate the bottom in the back there, and we should be able to just get our hand underneath of it, lower it in. Sorry about the weird angle, guys. I'm doing some work on my sewer system, which is directly behind me, so I've got a big trench along the back there, but hopefully you can see okay even through that white bar. I'm going to put just a little bit more myco just around the edge. You can't really overdo it. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and fill it in. Same thing applies for this. You don't want to tap it too hard, but you want to make sure there's no air pockets. So I will kind of move it around a little bit. Make sure we don't have any air pockets directly below it either. I did feel for that. I think we're good. Spread the soil out. Okay, I think we're good there. Now we're going to put the clover down. We're just going to broadcast it around here. Again, the soil is damp. It's not wet, but it's damp. And I'll probably come out this evening and give it a little bit more water. That'll help settle that soil in around the roots and also keep this clover seed nice and damp until it can germinate. The clover takes, I think it's at 7 to 10 days. So hopefully by next week when you come back, you should see a little bit of clover. And we're just gonna go ahead, same thing, we're just gonna pat it down. We're not gonna really mix it in. Just give it contact with that soil. So there is the critical magic in. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put the Sunday driver in its hole, and then we'll come back and take a look at these two already planted. All right, so we're gonna both in here. Here's the critical magic, looking pretty good. Nice root ball on her. So I have no doubt that she'll fill this enclosure up pretty quickly, and she'll definitely reach the top. There's no doubt in my mind. She's really nice and healthy. Let's jump over here to look at the Sunday driver. And here's the Sunday driver. We have a little friend down in there. If you can see it, she's moving pretty fast. Ladybug or an Asian beetle, I can't tell which from this distance, but I cut her pot off as well. Sadly, her roots were not filling that pot. They didn't reach the bottom. Everything, all the soil just kind of fell off the original shape of the pot. So I just scratched it up a little bit, put it in here. We'll see. Maybe she'll take, maybe she's just too stressed out at this point, maybe she won't. But we'll keep an eye on it. I have a tomato cage over top of her, the same tomato cages that we used for our huge tomatoes last year. This is two on top of each other. They're inverted, so they look a little different, but I find them much more stable. Hopefully she'll produce well for us. We'll see. It's going to be a stressful probably couple of weeks, and after that we should be able to tell by then whether she's actually going to make it or not. I do see we do have some new growth here, a little yellowish up here. You can tell she's not super healthy. There is some new growth also down below, but we'll give her a little bit of time and see how she makes out. All right, so now let's head inside. All we have going on in there right now is the peach sherbet OGs in the 5x5 and the 2.5x5. That being said, we are going to have to drop some new seeds here coming next week to get another tent going, as well as to replace the peach sherbets, which will be done in a few weeks. So let's go in and see how they're doing at this point. All right, guys, here we are in the Mars Hydro 5x5. We're growing these girls under the Mars Hydro FC 6500 Evo, along with the deep red ad lights. We just added the ad lights on last week, and I run those through flower to help give us nice big dense buds. Let's go back here, see if we can get the entire tent in the shot. And as you can see, she is full, front to back, side to side, completely full, and full to the top. That light cannot get any higher. And yeah, you can see we're only a few inches, probably 5 inches away from the light there. So yeah, I'm glad they didn't get any bigger. Some of them we did super crop. For instance, this one here we super cropped last week, and you can see kind of came up, but it still left a little bit of room. It was pretty much right into the light there last week. So everything is looking fantastic. Let's go in here and take a look at a close-up of the buds. We got some red and purples coming already, and look at that, nice beautiful trichomes. The leaves are covered, the buds are covered, and that's what we like to see. Now, even though we started out with some really long internodal spacing here during right at the end of the first week of flower into the second, she did correct herself at the top. So we do have some pretty decent sized buds up here, and I think they should be ready in what, another 2 weeks, maybe 3. They should be almost ready, so pretty excited about that. Now what we'll do when they're ready is we'll take down one level, we'll take all the tops, and then we're going to clean up a little bit, defoliate a little bit, and then leave the bottom half to mature for another week or so, and then we'll take them down. But it's been a really fun grow, really easy grow. It doesn't get much easier. We are growing these using the Mars Hydro drip system. As we can see right here is a drip emitter. There's one in each pot. Look at the stalks, pretty decent sized stalks as well. and also the drainage system below it, which all feed into the pump box. And I've been directing that right back into the reservoir, topping it up every couple of days. It needs a couple 5-gallon buckets. They go through a lot of water, guys. And then once a week, I will change out the whole reservoir, give them all new fresh nutrients. Now right now I'm using the Green Planet 3-part nutrients, and they seem to be responding to that quite well. Another thing that makes this grow easy, guys, is the Mars Hydro iHub Pro right there. Everything in this tent pretty much is controlled by the iHub Pro, and I can access it through the app on my phone along with my other tents, and I can see all the parameters in here, change anything I want to change no matter where I'm at. I just pull up the app and it's right there. Very, very convenient and easy. And the reason I can tell the parameters of the tent is because of the sensor kit. We have our power sensor right up here. We have, of course, our humidity and our temperature meters, and CO2. If you're running CO2, you can even see that, as well as the soil meter down here, which will tell you the moisture of the soil, the EC, the temperature, pretty much anything you want to know. Some things you don't even need to know, but it'll tell you anyway. So really cool. If anybody is interested in any of Mars Hydro's products, feel free to check out the links down below and use my code BWARD, and you'll save a little bit extra at checkout as well, and it'll help the channel. So here we have the 5x5. Like I said, another 2-3 weeks we'll be doing our first harvest on it. Until then, we're just gonna let it do its thing, and next week we'll check out the ones in the Mars Hydro deep water culture system. They look quite similar to this, only a week behind, so we'll check out that next week. All right, guys, it's really good to get the outside grow started, and yeah, I'm curious to see whether the Sunday driver, the over a 1.5-year old Sunday driver, is gonna make it or not. It just may have stressed it out being in a tiny little pot for a long time, just shoved in a corner. And yeah, I just couldn't bring myself to throw it out. Maybe I should have, but we'll see. Maybe it's got a surprise for us. That being said, the Critical Magic, I'm certain that's going to be a beast, and I can't wait to see how that grows outdoors. So be sure to come back and follow along with that grow. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and we'll see you on the next one. Happy growing.